That's not good.
Is it live now?
Yeah.
Going live.
What's up, YouTube? Subscribe.
It's not how you talk on YouTube. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Spearhead transmission. It's May 16th, 2017. It's time to break those chains and water that tree. I'm Nick.
And I'm Mike.
And
I
if
hate
you're on
that.
YouTube, you got to say, hey, guys. Like and share, or like and subscribe. And if you want more videos like this, make sure and check or subscribe to our channel.
You gotta also say, "Hey, what's your name?" Comment down below.
That's all.
Let's get this video to 7 likes.
It's always hey guys.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
I'm going to show you how to do your eyebrows today on this tutorial. Or, like I'm doing right now, I'm going to show you how to rebuild the head on your 2012 model riding lawnmower that you bought for $1,500. That's not that old, but the head gasket's blown on it. And in doing so,
How does this happen?
in showing you how to change the head gasket on your lawnmower, I'm going to over-explain everything. Like, talk about stuff that walks by in the background while I'm, okay, so you can see the part number is a Briggs and Stratton QPR 193X. This is the head gasket you're gonna need. See, because this is the one I bought before. This is the one I bought before. This is the Q that's not that won't work. So you're gonna take this one. You can take this one here. Oh, it's not focusing. Take this one, and that's the one you're gonna want to use. So, all right. So there's my cat, George. Cats. You know what I mean? Though? Like I don't watch. If I'm watching something on YouTube and I want a quick, it's like 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. The guy's on top of it. It's 15. It's just a bunch of nonsense. It's gonna get a lot of in the middle, like. People are probably saying that about our YouTube channel. Like,
oh yeah,
hour and 45-minute long podcast video watching two people talk. Like, fuck off! I'm not watching that.
Maybe we should make more pictures.
I don't know. But what happened to my lawnmower? You ask. Funny.
How does that happen?
Funny you should say that. I just think it's a piece of shit. But when I was standing in Sears, who's now going bankrupt, right? Mm-hmm. I guess. The guy's like, that's got that Briggs and Stratton 21 horse motor. After that, they changed to a Kohler motor. Kohler. You don't want that Kohler, you want that Briggs and Stratton. So I was like, all right, I'll take that one.
You know what it was? The guys at Briggs and Stratton were getting laid off. They're like, fuck this. That head gasket's good enough.
I read somewhere that apparently maybe it got gasoline with ethanol in it, and somehow that destroyed the head gasket. But in this day and age, it blows my mind that someone would make a lawnmower.
You can't put.
I guess you're not supposed to.
Any ethanol in there?
I can't even look to see if there's ethanol in the gas unless it's like E80, the green.
Yeah.
Not the diesel.
Right. I know what
the
you're talking
E85
about.
button.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, ugh, that's like putting Kool-Aid in the car, But all the other ones have, it says like up to 10% ethanol, right? Or something like that. Like, I don't think you have a choice anymore.
No. Yeah. Wait a minute. You mean you would have to go buy it? Yeah, to find it. You have to pay like 10 cents more a gallon, too.
You got to go to those gas stations that's got like some old lady it's just like a pump in her front yard. It's not even a gas station. Like, can I get some gas for my lawnmower? What? Get off here! What?
31st and Harvard. Yeah. Remember over by that gym we used to work out at?
Oh yeah.
That gas station right there. They had the non-ethanol gas.
Jugdish worked there.
Jugdish.
Yeah. But so apparently I put some ethanol gas in it. It caused the head gasket to leak. I mean, I filled it up with oil on Sunday. I had to mow the yard. My daughter was standing on the wall watching me holding her nose when there was smoke
mosquitoes
everywhere.
Getting rid of mosquitoes.
So I checked it. I had to drain the oil anyway before I changed the head gasket per the YouTube video, and it was like I almost ran it completely out of oil. And I thought that when I was mowing, I was like, I'm going to burn up all the oil already.
Mm-hmm.
To that point, I was like, I don't give a fucking shit about this thing, like piece of junk. I
Mm-hmm.
drive it to Sears and just, park it in front of there and say, hey, here's a 3-year-old lawnmower.
Mm-hmm.
Completely worthless.
You should just now that you have it now like this, just take the motor off and create your daughter's a go-kart.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, what's great is those guys are like, hey, this engine we're building's a real piece of shit, right? Mm-hmm. So let's make it easy to replace this head gasket. Like at least people won't hate us that much. So it's really not that bad.
Yeah,
hasn't been that bad thus far. I do have to adjust the valve spacing on the valves.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not want to do that. I'll do shit all day long with torquing stuff down, but when you start talking about like clearances that are, like, hey, this one fits. Okay, that's what it's supposed to be, like 0.080. Let me try the next one.
Yeah.
Well, that one fits too. So tighten it up. Now the other one doesn't fit. Now the bigger, like, I sit there all day. Anyway, but that made me think today when I was looking for stories. There was this story on the Huffington Post, which all our stories tonight are from the Huffington Post, I believe. It was titled "Don't Buy Your Prom Dress Off the Internet," right?
Right.
And it's like this thing where all these girls are posting pictures on their Twitter and stuff and saying, prom dress bought off the internet, and they got like these horrible prom dresses. The pictures like this real elegant dress this lady walking down the stairs, and then it shows up, looks like, like a
garbage
bag that you wrap around a flower,
yeah,
like, or a doily on a kitchen table. Like some girl had to put like those milk pads underneath it to keep from seeing her boobs, and I was just, when I look at Amazon, like I spend more of my time now, like I'll search for, whatever, like what do you, like Logitech webcam, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Type it in, like $3. Damn, man, how is that so cheap? Like, no way. And every time, even I know, don't buy that. Like, you get it? It's Chinese shit, right?
Uh-huh.
These dresses are Chinese shit. My wife bought some yoga pants out there that she's like, these pants are $3.99 or something.
Uh-huh.
That's like, you're gonna be able to see through them, which I was really let down that you couldn't. But so far they've held up. But I was like, those pants are just gonna like
one day there's bust.
Yeah, just gone. Be like that shirt.
Like a spring noise. Done.
The mummy shirt on Aqua Teen Hunger Force or whatever. But you know what I mean? Like I spend more of my time now trying to verify if the stuff I'm buying or purchasing is the actual thing I want and not a Chinese impersonation or like what do they call those? Not knockoff.
Replica?
Well, like they make legit like Benchmade knife. I bought a Benchmade knife
that's not a Benchmade knife.
Yeah. It says Benchmade. It says everything on it, but I tried to sharpen it, like wouldn't sharpen. Then I got online. Sure enough, it was like if these plastic ridges are rounded instead of hard edged on, you've got to whatever. And a guy tried to sell me a Benchmade Infidel, the automatic. It's an awesome knife, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I can get them for $100. I was like, $100? I was like, where are you getting them? He's like, my friend's got them. He got them off the internet. I was like, are they real? He's like, I don't know. So I sent him a link. Said, is my, Infidel real? And he's like, oh shit, man, mine's fake. I mean, it does not just apply to prom dresses or shit that cat tea tourniquet. That's fake.
Yeah,
it's a knockoff.
But it works, right?
Like, why wouldn't you just like? I guess if you're gonna go through all that trouble to
replicate
what do you just piggybacking the marketing? I guess like
yeah.
Oh well, they're already well
established.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing. I think it's genius. It's just the problem is that they're
you end up with the lawnmower, the blown head.
Right. So the quality is shit. Right. So you're like, but if it's like, here's the thing that I think's cool, like those designer purses and stuff that they sell for thousands of dollars, right?
Yeah.
which is stupid, right? It's dumb. But if you can't afford that, go buy one of the the fake ones, right?
Chinese
so
ones?
it's not a Louis Vuitton. It's a what would it be? Louis Vuitton. It wouldn't be the Louis Vuitton.
Oh, it's Chinese.
Right.
Bars rails.
Right. But and so exactly, it would be that one. But you're not gonna know, right? People out there aren't gonna know.
Not until you're carrying your shit and the
It's
bottom
not gonna fall
off.
apart. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Well, and still, you've saved $1,000.
Well, I'm never gonna buy $1,000 bag.
Right, but people do. I'm just saying. I think it's genius.
So I tried to purchase a.
Because I don't like trademarks or patents or copyrights. You know what I'm saying?
I like companies that have a name that have established a level of quality
Mm-hmm.
and then maintain that quality. That's why you buy it. Like if you buy a Mountain Hardware or something, you know it's like this shit's legit, right? Like people you can take this to Mount Everest if you need to,
right?
Know? But if you buy, what is that one brand, Mountain Forge or
whatever, right?
Mountain Forge is good. I can't remember. Anyway, one of the knockoffs.
You'd be frozen on Mount Everest.
Yeah, you like go to grab the handle, the fucking thing it just rips off. Like, you know, just not quality. So you know, like I don't mind paying more money for quality stuff.
That's the deal. That's the idea.
So I was trying to buy a tiller for our garden, and I was like, I don't want a freaking gas power. I don't need a, you know, like something that I can till a car into the ground with. You know, I just need something that I'm not out there with the hoe.
Right.
Like hoeing the ground is.
It's rough.
Yeah. I remember seeing
I used to do it for fun when I was a kid.
Yeah, I did too. I remember seeing my grandpa out there doing it. Like, man, that looks fun. And you go out and do it yourself. Like, this is pure hell.
I'm bored.
Yeah.
It's like digging.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit a root or something, you're like, well, I'm done digging. Just get your hole like 1.5 feet deep.
But so I'm on Amazon for this tiller, and I found the one from Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
It was on Amazon for like $40 cheaper. I was like, I'm immediately like, well, something's wrong, right? Well, it's labeled as made in China and all this other crap. It's like Earth Light or something, you know. Well, it said, you know, $80 or $60. I don't remember what it was, and then it said other used from $4.99 or something like that. So I emailed the lady, I assumed it was a lady. I was like, is this a replacement part, or is this the whole thing for $4? You know?
Oh, it was the
same thing.
A tiller.
Trying to buy for $60 and $4, and I start reading the reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And it said I ordered this, and nothing ever showed up, and then it just gave me my money back. Like it's like I think it's a scam, but I don't know how they scam me. You know. And there were like 3 other, and it was just made, and they had like 3 things for selling there. It's like, god dang, man, like can't like Amazon's coming pretty bad. Like there's just tons of junk on there anymore, right?
Right, they carry everything.
Yeah, absolutely. You can buy anything.
Yeah, everything now.
Head gaskets for lawnmowers, you know. Sexual lubricants.
Yes.
Car parts.
You can even
books on how to disappear.
You know, you can even they have a button now that you just put in your house that like if you need
the Jetsons, man.
If you need toilet paper, right? You just tap that button and it sends a signal.
And right now it still comes by mail, but it's only a short time away when you're like, I'm out of Cheerios, and it's gonna like drones go fly to your house and then dump Cheerios all over your yard, then fly off. You know?
Thanks.
You know, like those robots that should have like put ketchup on a hot dog and just or the trying to put the cracker in the mouth.
Yes, it's bam.
That shit cracks me up for some reason.
That's what it will be like.
All right, well tonight we got some exciting stuff to talk about. We have to. I was looking for stories, and I mean, I was like, man, there's nothing really going on except for this Trump Russian security leak.
Mm-hmm.
But even when I read it, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it didn't really
disengaged.
Yeah, but so we have a couple guests on tonight from Bunker Days. We're gonna give them a call here shortly.
Yeah.
And they've got some cool stuff to talk about their company. They're gonna have a drawing. You can win some free shit, or what do they call that? Swag? Is it swag?
Swag?
What is swag?
Yeah, swag. I think swag can encompass a number of things. Like you got swagger, but then swag, like that could be short for swagger, right? But then
you have like towels with an emblem on them.
I always thought it was like pirates. For some reason.
Anyway, you put in a drawing to win some pirates.
Or pirate stuff, right? Like, but that's.
Eye patch,
I think it's
wooden peg leg.
I think I'm getting it confused with scallywag. So, but like short for scallywag would be swag.
Buttons. Yeah, that makes sense. I can see that.
But then swag. I don't know
Billy
why
Lee Swaggart. Swaggart. That's the dude from Shooter.
Is it Swaggart?
Swaggart, right?
Or Taggart? No, that's
anyway.
Atlas Shrugged.
Here we go. You're gonna be putting a drawing to be in a movie with Shooter.
Yeah.
And
Billy Lee. Oh, it is.
Mark
Wahlberg. Swaggart, or yeah.
Anyway, so we'll give them a call and get them on the line. Can we pause this?
Yeah, we can pause this. We can't pause that.
We can't pause the YouTube video.
So you keep talking to YouTube.
All right.
Uh-oh. There we go. All right. You ready?
You gotta wet your finger. Hold on. All right, YouTube. Text him.
Okay. How did I do that? You ready?
No, I gotta give him a 5-minute warning, which can be, and then this. I gotta get this.
Okay.
All right, YouTube. Make sure and like and share. No, like and subscribe.
You know what?
How many people are watching this? 2?
Yeah, not very many. It's all right. You know what's best is we just keep having them, and eventually, as that following grows, then those videos will get watched.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about today when we went to Ulaga. Like I don't even know how many years ago, and your Land Cruiser broke down. We had to drive back with that tow strap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think about that today. That's terrifying.
Yeah, I seriously think I had some of that seat like pulled up my ass. I thought I was gonna rear end you the whole time. No brakes because I didn't have any.
Yeah, it was scary. I don't know. All right, tell me when.
Yeah, not yet.
Well, son of a bitch.
So YouTube, hang tight for a second. We got people coming on. Does anybody have these? Is this gonna?
No, you're good.
Not be able to
No, who cares?
monetize this video?
Doesn't matter.
I don't understand how they can have YouTube channels about guns and then you pull a gun out in a fucking podcast.
And then you're unmonetizable.
Yeah. Have you ever used these?
See, you know what's happening? Is there's a green screen behind there, so that green tip is gone.
Old green tip.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there's a green tip on there. It's polymer or something.
Old green tip.
Plastic. Pretty cool if it was plastic, wasn't it? Plastic.
It blew up.
C4. Exploding bullets.
Blow up your barrel before it makes it out.
Don't they have exploding bullets?
Yeah. But they explode on a certain amount of rotations or something like that. That's that gun that they... Did you hear that?
That bing.
Was it this or was it a horn?
I think it was this. Oh, I don't know.
Anyways, I think it's that gun that you can set the depth or distance on it, and then like you say you got guys behind bunkers, right?
It's like a shotgun shell almost flying through the air with fins.
Yeah. Was it XM25? Is that the name of that rifle or that name of that gun?
MXC.
MXC? No.
Most
XM.
Extreme Elimination Challenge. Remember that show?
I'll say, huh?
Remember that show? Are we watching? Are everyone watching? All right. It's go time.
Are we good? Huh?
What time did I text him? You got 1 minute.
All right. Here's what I was gonna tell you. I was thinking about it earlier. Have you ever watched that Ninja Team Ninjas? What is it called? It's the the American Ninja or whatever. Not American Ninja. You know what I'm talking about? The ninja show that you run up the obstacles.
Oh, yeah.
What's that called?
American Ninja Warrior?
Yeah, American. Well, they have a Team American Ninja Warrior.
Really?
Yeah, where you race. It's pretty badass.
Colin, let's go.
All right. We're gonna get him on first, and then we'll get his brother on.
We're not recording yet, right?
No. Hey, Chris.
Hey guys, how are you?
Okay, I'm gonna add your brother real quick.
Hey, we're not
No
recording
worries.
yet. So I'm gonna read your introduction before, and then say, "What's up?"
All right, no worries.
This audio sounds nice.
Yeah, they both did. Hey, Mike, are you there?
I just got on, yeah.
All right, cool. All right.
It's Mikey.
Mikey.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. All right.
Are you gonna hear? No, you won't hear any music. And
Let's-
then I'm gonna read your intro, and then kind of say like, "All right, guys, you there?" Something like that, and then we'll.
All right, so just to confirm, we're going live like right now.
Yeah.
No,
Well, you're right. You're actually live on,
I mean,
on
on
YouTube,
YouTube.
but on the actual podcast now.
Okay.
So
All right.
Don't say anything bad.
Okay. So, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. I'm gonna give him a little bit of music.
All right.
Okay.
Hang tight until you hear me say what's going on or something like that. All right. We are?
Yeah.
You good? Hello?
You good?
All right, our guests tonight are the co-founders of Bunker Days, Mike and Chris Lambrix. So Bunker Days is a social commerce platform geared towards the prepping, survivalist, and outdoor enthusiast community. They offer a streamlined approach to preparedness, integrating a social media platform with proprietary
Woo.
tools to make preparedness easy and accessible for everyone.
And they like tongue twisters.
Yeah, no shit. Their mission is connecting concerned citizens with
See?
the tools and knowledge needed to face uncertainty with confidence. The company also sells all of the necessary prepping gear directly through their platform. The website's bunkerdays.com.
And that's in the down below as well in the
Video
description. Yep.
if you're watching the YouTube
Yep.
video. Also tonight, so this is pretty exciting. Anyone who creates a free account on Bunker Days, www.bunkerdays.com, in the next 48 hours will be entered into a raffle for a giveaway for an Adventure medical kit, Ultralight Series 9 medical kit, as well as Bunker Days patch for the Range Bagger backpack. Bunker Days is free to join, so sign up and get entered in the raffle for some free gear. And I gotta say,
So, wait.
if you listen to this podcast 2 years from now,
Yeah.
you're not gonna be in the.
If you understood it, but Nick was mumbling through.
That's-
Bunkerdays.com.
That's my
Forte.
Yeah. So, Chris, Mike, you guys having a good night tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. And, first off, just want to say thanks for having us on here, and thanks to the Spearhead listeners for indulging us here. I think we'll have a little bit of fun here. But, happy to be here and happy to talk a bit about the company.
Good.
Glad to have you.
Sorry for butchering your website, but
Not at all.
we'll have it typed out in the description. At least we're not drunk on this podcast, right? We're not really messed it up.
I think we've had Lamrock on before when we were drunk, or did we?
Lambrix has definitely been on when you boys have had a scotch or two. That's
Okay,
for sure.
I think so.
This is the old days.
Uh-huh.
The
We're
old days. We're more
definitely sober.
sophisticated.
Yeah, we're much more. We're internet superstars, so we've got to keep it toned down a little bit. Not really. What's happening, guys? So, check it out. So, like, I'm not a prepper, right? Totally not a prepper.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I keep water and food, but so is this Bunker Days for me, and like, what value does it hold for a guy like me? You know, everyday Joes and whatnot.
Yeah, and so this is Lambrix, but Mike, good to talk to you again. So basically, what Mike and I tried to do with this venture as we started out was from the get-go, we both started families, we both started, buying houses and, just kind of thinking more along the lines of like what it is to be a more prepared person. Superstorm Sandy hit New Jersey when it was the first week in my house. So kind of what we did was just pull this from a full-on uh, perspective of that every man needs to prepare, needs to help their family out, and what steps can they take to prepare. So when we went along those lines, there was a lot of incongruities in the space that we found hard to navigate. And so what we've done with Bunker Days is kind of try to streamline all of that into a consolidated space so that if you're searching for something, be it a content or be it a product, we're offering a platform that allows all that in the same spot. So it's not just your Nat Geo guys who are out there looking at doomsday preppers. It's, for everyone to come to the platform, share in the community space, find some gear that you may need for, your bug out bag or just a range bag or, extra batteries or something that you may need in power outage. And that's what we're trying to bring to the space.
It's funny too. Is I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, but it's like Mike's saying. He says he's not a prepper, but I don't totally agree with that because he does stuff to mitigate risk in the future based on something that might happen. But and something I noticed in this area is like people are either like usually completely in to where when you talk to someone like that, you're like, I'm not prepared for anything.
Yeah.
This guy's got it figured out. Or, they're like, you're completely insane. Nothing's gonna happen. Everything's fine. It's like either one or the other. Where I feel like I'm more of like the center, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I'm not completely insane. Like I don't.
You got your toes wet.
Yeah.
A little more than that. You're maybe knee deep, not balls deep yet.
But so I don't know if if that's something you guys see.
Not elbows deep.
Yeah, not elbows.
Yeah, and I think that's right, and I think that's kind of where Chris and I were coming from. Is that we didn't really see ourselves as either extreme, but we kind of have a internal philosophy that we believe in at Bunker Days that has three real tenets, and the first tenet's that the only certainty in life is uncertainty. And I think that, that's pretty prevalent in terms of anyone's life and especially kind of what's been going on across the globe. And the second one is that, everyone's situation is different. So even though, you might not consider yourself a doomsday apocalypse prepper or be a, hardcore off-grid liver, it doesn't mean that you don't have a particular situation in your everyday life, or even for me, I'm down in Florida. Hurricane season's a big deal, and that's a situation specific to sort of Floridians and actually more anyone on the East Coast these days. But everyone's situation's different, so it doesn't matter kind of your spectrum of concerns. There's going to be something that you could be better prepared for and have a plan to help protect your loved ones. And the last thing really is that it's that model of it's not just a checklist, it's kind of a lifestyle. And it's not necessarily, again, it's not a lifestyle of you have to be a doomsday prepper or an off-grid liver, but the lifestyle of am I taking the necessary steps? Do I have extra gas for when the hurricane comes in, or batteries for my flashlights? Just the sort of standard things that I think as our daily lives keep us preoccupied, we tend to just forget and ignore. But it's at those times where you need to be most prepared. So that's kind of I think we wanted to build a platform and a model and a company that could appeal to anyone, regardless of what they were worried about.
Yeah, and you know what I think's cool about that too is, like you're saying, like hurricanes, like around here, it's tornadoes or floods or whatever. I think there's a certain amount of pride or like, like I guess it'd be pride that would come along with like if something like that happened instead of just having. And there's nothing wrong with the people that that something happens to their house and it's completely destroyed and they need help, but to say like, oh, I can take care of my stuff here from what I've done before to prepare for this disaster or whatever. And another thing I was gonna say was, like I feel, I talk to a lot of people, at work and stuff at my job, and like there's random people from, people that are, paying millions of dollars to build a building to a guy that's tying a rebar in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, one thing I've noticed is almost everyone you talk to now, or me at least, like feels like something like isn't right, right?
Right.
Like something's like they should
On the
be,
verge.
Yeah, like if you said if it like I feel like 10 years ago I said, hey man, I'm thinking about putting some chickens in my backyard. People were like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Why? But if you say that now, like, oh yeah, that's a pretty good idea. You never know what's going to happen, or whatever. But I don't know. I think it's cool that you guys have this going on. One of the things I was wondering is how is this different from other social media platforms like like Facebook and Pinterest? Because one of our friends is always sending us pins off pentagram.
Satan's Pinterest.
I can't even get it to work for one.
That's a new site.
Pentagram.
Yeah, no, it's a good question, and I think we're a social commerce platform, and what that means really is that we have social media elements. So whatever your experience or whatever you're used to on Facebook or Pinterest or Instagram, whether it be just posting or sending messages, you're going to be able to find those features on our platform. But it's combining those features with proprietary tools that we've developed to help streamline your preparedness. Because a big element of that we feel strongly about of prepping and just being better prepared for your situation is having a community element. Certainly on the natural disaster side of things, you're not going to really be able to get through a situation like that as efficiently by yourself as you could with a community and a sort of community plan. So the community aspect of it's really big for us. But so it's tying into those proprietary tools. We have two proprietary tools. We've got an inventory management system as well as a tool that we call a situation and inventory plan. And those two elements allow you to keep track of all of your gear, develop a specific plan, assign the gear to that plan and make sure you're working towards, full preparedness of that plan. And then the last piece is, we combine an e-commerce element to it as well. So you can buy all the necessary gear. So it's a social media platform because we feel strongly about community and community learning and being prepared together, but it also has a lot more than just a social network platform.
Cool. So what would you guys recommend for like someone that's just getting into this or like their first step in preparedness?
So this is Chris. I'll take this one. From my end, honestly, to the platform's stance and what Mike and I feel strongly about is just getting up to speed with what certain aspects of preparedness may be for you and define your situation and figure out what you might need for yourselves and if you have a family, what your loved ones might need. Get your inventory and define a plan and work that out. From the very simplest aspect of it, so I commute to New York City, most of the time for work. I have a very simple go bag that I carry on me every day with some simple products in there, parachute cord, med kit, the knife that they let me bring into Manhattan and back. But it's really just, thinking about what your personal situation is. Are you preparing for just you or for other people, defining a specific plan and inventory that you need, and then going from there. But a quick bug out bag for your car or on your person, I think is essential for any preparedness plan that you have.
See, bug out
Yeah, and I
bag.
think
Oh, go ahead.
just tying it back to the community aspect, that if you're new, that's why having a community based platform is really important, because you can go on there and our tools will ask a couple basic questions. How many people are you preparing for, how long are you preparing for, and the system will suggest items and gear that might be relevant to help you achieve your preparedness goals. But you can also interact with other people that might have already set up a plan or a profile that's very similar to what you're concerned about, and you can kind of file that plan and work towards preparedness of that plan as well. So it's leveraging the community and the work of others to help those people that are brand new to the space.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like a bug out bag in Oklahoma. It's funny you say what knife I'm allowed to carry into Manhattan, but like I
Yeah,
was
no,
trying
I
to
think
figure out a way to
you
get a
you
rifle in
sent me a message about that a while back, right? You're like, hey, I'm coming up to visit my aunt, but I'm not sure what I can bring in Connecticut and New York.
Well, whatever happened in that trip, I followed the law to the T.
To the T.
No, but I was trying to figure out a way to get a rifle in my bug out bag. So
Just gotta get a small rifle.
you got a different. I guess it's different for each state. But,
Yeah.
but anyway.
It's unfortunate.
Huh?
It's unfortunate that it's that way. You gotta. But yeah,
I mean, that's,
I know how you. I mean, I know how you feel, Chris.
because
Except
he
I
just
don't.
got back from London.
Yeah. Anytime. We've only been there twice, but I feel vulnerable there. Very vulnerable, because you go from, fully prepared, I guess, for whatever, as prepared as you can be,
For what have you.
and then to a place where you can't. I had to carry around silverware.
You take the bed knob and put it in a sock.
I took a fork.
A fork.
Ed.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Take a fork.
I think he meant a fruit knife or something, not a fork.
You can't carry. You can't carry any knives.
You
I need my knife to eat.
Euro trash.
Yeah.
All right. So what are? I mean, I know you guys are kind of limited to an extent, but what are some of you guys' EDC items? Like this is like a big time Pinterest thing, because there's guys that just
Pentagram thing.
post pictures of EDC, and some of our friends just text us pictures of their EDC, everyday carry.
I don't even like. I don't like the fact that you say that some of our friends text us pictures of their EDC.
Yeah, no, it's a good question, and again, it's one of those things that kind of varies by state. So this is Mike. Down in Florida, I can pretty much carry whatever I want down here, with the laws the way they are. But I rarely carry a firearm, just because there are some restrictions around. You can't, for example, go out and have a drink after work while carrying a firearm down in Florida. So I often just carry a basic assisted open knife, and a multi-tool. And I usually have my keychain has an LED flashlight and some paracord on it.
Nice. And then Chris, you carry paracord and whatever knife they allow you.
Yeah, I have a totally different EDC kit for me up in Jersey, because the regulations are a lot more strict. But I always have some sort of a blade that is legal either in Jersey or New York. But then, I know you guys down in Oklahoma. I was going to ask you, and that's part of the point of Bunker Days is a community aspect, feel like user integration and like commentary. So, what are your favorite EDC items?
It's funny you should ask. I know. So my knife, I carry an Emerson assisted opening knife that's pretty cool. My friend gave it to me, and it's a nice thick blade. I mean, I cut down trees with this thing. Whoops! The hell is that?
I don't know. Are you there?
I don't hear anything.
Uh-oh.
What just happened?
Somebody called? Hold on, guys.
No problem.
No worries.
We still recording?
I don't know. We're paused. That's not good. All right, keep talking to these guys here.
On YouTube,
Yeah.
there's some technical difficulties.
Yeah. Are you guys? Can you still hear us?
Yeah.
You can.
Okay, I can tell that they can hear us because they both.
Hang on. This isn't on. There it is.
Oh,
There.
Yeah, we're here.
that's weird.
We're here.
All right, all right, we're back.
Back on.
Okay.
All right. So
All right.
I
So,
carry Emerson assisted opening knife. I also carry a firearm.
Mhm.
Maybe not. Keep you guessing. And then I carry a cat tea tourniquet, which is this, one of those Chinese made one, obviously, not a brand name. I got
Mhm.
duped on, but carry that. Carry a small first aid kit, a sheath knife, stocking cap, binoculars,
Hmm.
paracord, a cork, the survival kit that Chris actually bought me for Christmas one year or something.
Yeah, boy.
And what else is in that bag? Oh, a Israeli combat dressing, and I think that's it. That's my. I mean, I say EDC every day. I've got knife and pistol usually, but I have that. I have a little bag inside my
Well,
gym bag
uh-huh.
that has all that other crap in it, and I carry that bag with me everywhere, unless it's,
yeah, mine's
can't carry it.
mine's the same, except I don't have the cat tea tourniquet and that Israeli thing. I got a flashlight and first aid kit in there. I also have like
Snacks.
I got that one knife that you got me, that the I don't know.
Kershaw?
No, that I have that, but then I have the other one that you got me
Rat moly.
Yeah.
Something.
Mm-hmm.
No, so I like all that stuff, and like I was saying earlier, I want to. That's my like what I call my gym bag. I have my running shoes in it, my workout stuff to work out, but I also want to put in my car, and I keep putting it off. And one of the things I dislike about prepping, or whatever you want to call it, is like I keep putting things off, and in my head, I'll be laying in bed some night, I'm like, man, you can put this off, put it off, and then when you need it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to have it because you didn't do it. You're
Mhm.
talking about it. But I want to put in my bag, in my car, a bag with like a car, like what I would call a car bag or something, like a handheld radio, bigger stuff with a bigger bag. But it's not really every EDC. It'd be like a car.
Just
bag.
stays with your car.
Yeah. But that's what we roll with in Oklahoma.
It's sad with the nature of the state by limiting your survivability. It should tell you something about the state. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
It should tell you that they. No, I don't. Yeah, and I don't mean like state to state. I'm saying the nature of government, like how they can limit your survivability. You guys up here, and we got to justify it by saying that bad people can do bad things with this. It's sad. So like what's the you guys are both parents, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
And that's probably one of the biggest things whenever it comes down to it, because if you're just single, right?
It's almost like fun.
Yeah, it's like fun, but when you start to think about your kids and how that translates over, right? And how you just start to dwell on that kind of stuff and how terrifying that could be. Like, how's that play into bunker days? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's a great question, and I think that's where some of the situational stuff makes a big difference, right? Because if you're preparing for yourself and even your significant other, but you're both adults and you can care for yourself, and you're not worried about carrying them or feeding them, or with small children, diapers, things like that, it's going to drastically change the way you approach a situation. I've got a 2-year-old son, so just the amount of stuff that is required for a child that's still in diapers and that can't really communicate right. They're not fully talking. When for my personal situation, I always try and be ahead of things and avoid things as much as possible. So, for example, the last hurricane that which was Matthew, down here in Florida, we actually took off well in advance to the other side of the state, just because if my power goes out and it's just me, and that's fine, I can make do, I can figure out water and everything. But having the power go out for a prolonged period of time with a 2-year old is just it's just much better off avoiding that situation. So I think it's really, being a parent, it does bring a whole new element to how you approach different situations, and what your plans and goals should be.
Yeah, and again, this is kind of like how Mike and I got started on this. Is as new parents, like, we started thinking about all these things, and it just makes everything that much more important when you have kids. And I know you guys both have your own, so it's not just get yourself lost out in the woods by yourself, you're fine, figure it out, you get out of the woods. But you have kids that you have to worry about too. Everything is that much more important. So that's what we were trying to do here. And Bunker Days is obviously, like, targeted to folks that are prepared just on their own, but more specifically those who have families and other people to worry about as well. So it's quintessential to have a preparedness plan for yourself and your family.
What's funny is I used my EDC bag one day. I got my truck stuck in the mud. I took my daughter fishing, got my truck stuck in the mud because I didn't test the 4-wheel drive when I purchased this older vehicle, and it never worked. Anyway, we get stuck, and she's asleep in the back, and it's hot as hell out. Finally, she wakes up, and I was like, well, I called my buddy, but he's not going to be here for a little bit. So I was like, you want to fish? And she's like, I'm hungry. Pull out the bag, get the stuff out of it. I was using, part of it was my gummy bears, my post-workout gummy bears, but she was, was happy, right? And it's things like that, too, is like people think that you have to be, preparing for, Martians to attack or something. Like, man, you can get stuck. Just say you get 2 flat tires when you're out deer hunting or whatever, and you can't drive, and it's, going to be 30, 40 degrees overnight. And, hey, I got a poncho liner in the back of my truck and a pack of MREs. Like, while I'm waiting for someone to come pick me up or bring me tires, I'm not going to sit there and freeze my ass off. I'll be somewhat comfortable and have a full stomach. Like, what's wrong with
nothing?
What's wrong with that? So
nothing wrong with it.
So what do you guys?
Yeah, and that's a big thing that that we do as well. Just from like an outdoors adventure type of thing. Massive hiker, backpacker. I'm a hunter, I'm a fisher, and it doesn't have to be that like you're a doomsday prepper. It's like, hey, if you're out hunting or fishing, or you take a 3-day hike in the woods, things can go wrong. So do you have the proper gear on you to navigate that situation? And that's what Bunker Days is about. It's not just doomsday prepping. It's about, like, what are your bunker days and what could happen in your particular situation that is just kind of an everyday commonplace thing that people deal with all the time, outdoors, fishing, that type of thing. Like, get your truck stuck in mud.
Well, that's when most, like, accidents happen,
right?
And that's when most people aren't prepared too. This can kind of go off on a tangent here, but on like day hikes and stuff, people are, I'm gonna go hike for the day,
take a little bit,
and I take one little bottle of water and a granola bar, and they get lost, and I end up dead. Sometimes you hear those stories where they do. They're stuck out in the elements with no, a pair of shorts or whatever in Utah, and it's cold as hell. So it's just, I think it's good to, to be self-reliant and do stuff like this. I think it's healthy too.
You guys have an app?
So we built the concept of Bunker Days around sort of mobile optimization, and we have the plans and the designs for an application. We don't currently have an application that's live, but it's in development, and we're looking to have it live as soon as possible. But we would, it's definitely a kind of key component to the Bunker Days strategy.
That's good. So you'll be able to access. It will be like social media you'll be able to access it from your phone, do everything that you need to do that you can on the website, right? Basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can access the website on your mobile. It's just not, it won't be a native application on your phone yet. But yeah, mobile strategy is a big component to it. I think, our tools already are integrated with Google Maps, and so to the extent part of your plan requires getting from your home to a bug out location, or the opposite, getting from work back home, right, to kind of bunker down for a storm or something. You can pre-plan those routes in the tool, and using the mobile application in the future, be able to start your route and have it navigate for you. So the application's going to just, I think, be a huge value enhancement and feature enhancement for the user base. So that's why we're focused on getting that developed as soon as possible.
There's a lot of stuff happening right now. I mean, like you say, you got hurricanes and everything. But
natural disasters, right?
So,
a lot of natural disasters.
What are you guys' thoughts as far as some of the threats that you hear about in the news, like North Korea, Russia, threats to the grid, cybersecurity? I mean, just was it yesterday? There's a huge cyber attack on the internet that they're saying that it's possibly North Korea. I mean, depending on if you believe it or not, but EMPs, all this, like what are you guys? What are your feelings on those things?
Yeah, and unfortunately, there's way too many of these taking place in current events these days. I mean, there's, aside from like natural stuff with solar flares and things of that nature, North Korea, like there was a study out that they have satellites over the U.S. that's gonna, have the capabilities to do a massive EMP attack. The WannaCry attack that happened over the weekend, which hit over 100,000 people. Massive cyber attack there. And I'm not sure if you guys have heard of this book by Ted Koppel, but it's called Lights Out. It's probably the most vulnerable state that we have in the United States is our power grid.
Is that the book that was read on the Senate floor or something like that?
Yes, okay. Exactly. Yep. And if one of those happens to our power grid and we're without power for over 3 days, like the 3-day theory comes into effect, and we're in a bad shape. So that's probably my biggest takeaway there, is that cybersecurity and EMP threat, albeit from terrorists or from natural disasters, is the biggest thing to worry about.
Well, and the grid, that guy that wrote that, Lights Out, I think it was him, or it may have been whoever was reading it on the floor there, was talking about how things could be done to protect the grid from an EMP attack, but it's just not.
They're not doing it.
Yeah, no one's worried about it really. They don't think it's.
Yeah, no one listens.
That big of a threat, but I don't know if you've read that book. Was it 1 Second After?
Yeah, I read that. Yep.
Yeah, I read that book, and kind of touched with what you're talking about earlier with with having children and doing this. Like, if you read that book and you've got kids and you don't tear up at the end, like, don't have a soul, right? Like, I was reading that book, I was like, man, what the hell is wrong with me? I'm sitting there crying in my room by myself, But that plays two ways, like we're talking here, like, are you going to prepare, you're going to do this and that because of my kids, but when you're talking about that 3-day rule, 3 days and your kid doesn't have any food.
Yeah,
water.
You're going to turn into an animal.
People are going to, do things they would never do to try to feed their kids.
Sure.
And on top of that, if that continues on, I mean, I don't know how long it would take to get a grid back up after an EMP attack or whatever. But
one of these the super EMPs that they're talking about that North Korea has the capability of doing is would put us off the grid for a year, and that pretty much takes us back to the 1800s, where it's not even power that's the issue; it's disease, famine, starvation, polluted water, all of that stuff, and it's a really scary thing.
It's not, people think like, oh, big deal, a year I won't have air conditioning or whatever. Yeah, but you're not. There's people that have medicine that can't be manufactured. There's people that have
right. If you're, if you have any sort of like very serious medical condition, diabetes, hypertension, anything like that, can't get to the pharmacy, asthma even, you're in a tough spot. And actually, one of the guests you've had on in the past goes by the name of Angry American. His whole survivalist series, Going Home, Surviving Home, the whole survival series that he wrote centers around an EMP and like how society adapts to, if you want to call it adapting to, but deals with the massive power outage and lack of resources. So it's a good, interesting read from kind of a fictional standpoint, but ties into a lot of real life stuff that's happening right now in terms of threats to the country.
What about you, Mikey? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think the biggest threat is definitely the EMP because, at that point, without the power grid, even if you've got sort of a sustainable compound where you've got your own solar power, wind power, you've got an acre or two of cropland, like you then become the prime target for societal breakdown, right? Because and then how do you kind of defend that compound? I think that's why I always feel so strongly about the fact that there needs to be a community element to survive that type of situation, and you need to have a plan with not just you and your family, but with others that you can rely on. I think there's going to be a point if that were to ever happen, and hopefully we never have to face that in our lives. But if that were to happen, you really need to have a sub support system of other people that you can rely on and adequately get through that situation together.
Yeah, that seems to be the common theme amongst a lot of our guests throughout the mountain gorilla, brush beater,
Tribe.
right? Yeah, the community, right?
Yeah.
Like just
I think they use the term tribe because it feels more brotherhoodish or whatever.
yeah, and I think they like the idea of being a warlord. I mean, that seems to be their whenever they phrase it in. I mean, that has no appeal to me, but the idea of the community. I mean, that's your neighbor. Get to know your neighbor. Our guest last week talked about it. But these guys, you guys set up a community, an app, and all that stuff where you can feel at home talking to other people about it. And maybe I mean, I don't know I don't know if you have the ability to I guess it'd just be spontaneous or whatever or natural, but organic, where people would be able to like say, okay, I'm in this area, whatever, right? So maybe I guess that just would happen organically.
Yeah, no, we have a concept on the platform, which is very similar to what you think of as groups, which we call bunkers. And you can establish a bunker and invite other members and users to your bunker, and you can communicate and set up plans specifically for that subgroup of people. So, you guys could set one up in your local community in Oklahoma and have an open dialogue and share plans of what you guys would do if maybe it's the tornado that rips through your neighborhood as opposed to the massive super EMP that you're more concerned about, and you could develop that small community and that plan, and you feel confident that if something were to happen, whose house you're going to and where supplies are, and you can tackle that problem as a group as opposed to trying to be the lone wolf, because the success rate is much higher as a group as opposed to the lone wolf.
It's like Tinder, but with survivalists. I'm gonna swipe right. That dude looks crazy. That guy's got
I like it.
Fox on his head. Like, oh, this babushka looks good. She's in my survival bunker right now.
So, like, what's your best reference guide for prepping?
So I have a couple that I like. One is very in depth and highly recommended. It's written by a PhD by the name of Arthur T. Bradley. It's called Handbook to Practical Disaster Preparedness for the Family. Um, super in depth and literally around like what to do for your household, your family, not only for natural disasters, but do you have your carbon monoxide machines working properly? Are you financially prepared? Do you have enough batteries on hand, enough water, that sort of thing? So Arthur T. Bradley, Handbook to Practical Preparedness for the Family. And then there's a smaller one that is more truncated. It's called The Prepper's Pocket Guide by Bernie Carr. And it's just a quick reference, 101 easy steps that you can do to prepare your house for a disaster. So those are my two favorite. And again, going back to the fictional one, the Survivalist series by Angry American, he actually does a lot of really good gear reviews in a fictional based story. And I know you guys have had him on before, and I've met him in person down in PrepperCon. So, great series there. So that would be my recommendations.
Cool. So, one final question, and then we're gonna talk about your raffle here. But what's your favorite home defense weapon?
Mm.
Yeah, it's a good one. I always I like to go back to the pump action. I've got a Remington 870 tactical that I use as my go-to. Just a shorter barrel, pump action,
Maneuverable.
wind spray.
And you can use it on turkeys.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
That's my turkey or a shotgun. I mean,
I clear the house with a samurai sword.
Yes, you do. I actually have a katana blade in my office, but no, I do a HKP 30 on my bedside, and then also have a K-bar just in case.
we think alike. And I remember last time you came to town, it's amazing how, even though I've been talking forever, like how similar our thoughts were. But like next to my bed, I've got a dagger for close quarters in case I wake up and there's someone right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, of course, pistol. And I've got a samurai sword. So I've always thought, like, what's going to happen? I'm going to have all this shit, and I hear someone come in the house, like, ooh, the pistol.
I can't make up my mind.
The sword, grab the sword.
Shotgun?
Like, what do I... Oh, shit. Like, he said, get the shotgun. Like, this guy's going to come in here, like, what are you doing? Hey, buddy, hang on for a second.
Just a second.
I'm still trying to decide what's going on.
Yeah, hold up.
So you guys want to run by your raffle real quick? Just what we got going on here, the 48-hour raffle.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So basically, anyone, as you guys mentioned, bunkerdays.com, it's free to sign up. Anyone who signs up in the next 48 hours is going to be automatically entered into the raffle. And towards the end of the week, we'll do a drawing, and we'll get in contact via email with the winning entry and get you guys shipped off the Adventure Medical Ultralight Med Kit. It's a nice... large medical kit, waterproof, and we'll also be sending a Bunker Days patch for range bag.
And I can't get in that because I already have an account set up with you guys. So.
Oh, I'm signing up right now.
Well, cool, man.
You know a guy anyway who can get you one.
I'm gonna choose the picture of the fish.
I appreciate you guys coming on the show. It's, always good talking to you. Hopefully we can have you on again in the future. I think a lot of this is important for people. I mean, even if, like, I don't, like Mike said, I don't consider myself a prepper, but at the same time, we put a garden in. I always think, like, well, if I run out of water, I've got a swimming pool I can pull water out of. Think of all these things, and I do all these things. So I guess in reality, I just the term's what gets me. But I continue to try to expand my skills of stuff just to know how to do it. Yeah, just to know how to do things. And this, you guys' website is a good, platform for people that, want to just, learn new things or figure out where to find, information on new things. So I think it's really cool. I think it's real important, especially in today's world. So glad you guys came on the show.
Yeah, I like your website too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, thanks a ton for having us on. It was great to get the word out, and to your point, I think the more everyone can kind of do to just learn and learn from each other, the better. So thanks for having us on, and thanks to the listeners, and we'd love to come back on again in the future.
It's easy, guys. Too, all the listeners. It's easy to make a profile, I guess, or to sign up on Bunker Days. I just did it. Well, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
30 seconds, and you could win a.
Series 9 med kit.
That's right. Do it.
All right, guys.
Yeah, thanks very
guys.
much, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. See ya.
All right.
Adios.
Thanks a lot.
Bye bye.
So make sure and check out that website, www.bunkerdays.com. Get signed up, get in the drawing, and maybe win some free stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's the Bunker Days. What over here? Gear up, bunker down.
What? Poking, pointing to it.
No, that's good.
Yeah, thanks again.
This guy's professional. They sound like
Chris and Mike. Yeah, gotta get them to build our website.
and do our show for us. So.
Can you guys do our podcast for us?
So what do we got? We got.
What a hot zone.
All right.
But play.
We'll do a commercial after. You ready?
Yeah. All right. Thanks again to
Yeah.
Chris and Mike. I don't know. Did you cut me off, or did I get that in there before you cut me off?
No, you got you in there.
Well,
You good?
Today, like I was saying earlier, is looking through everything, trying to find some stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, there's nothing. The headlines on all the news websites are all, about Trump leaking confidential information to Russia, right?
Right. So this goes way back, right? Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, all right. Let's start. What were you gonna say? This starts way back.
Well, I mean, we've talked about this back in like August. Before
It's
that,
not,
right?
It's not going away for some reason. I mean, it's all you hear. I mean, Russia or Donald Trump may as well have one of those fluffy hats on and say,
Yeah.
game,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But the whole point that I was gonna, instead of just really talking about what's going on, because to me, it all depends on where you read about it, right?
Yes.
And that was my point, is if you look at Huffington Post, Donald Trump is a Russian spy,
Mm-hmm.
according to Huffington Post,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like he's, the Democrats are moving to impeach him or something
Mm-hmm.
already.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's just horrible.
Right.
You go to Fox News and you read about it, it's like, it had to be leaked in the discussion that was being had or whatever. You know? Like, and the thing is you and I don't know what they were talking about. I don't know what was leaked. Like, did Putin tell him where they got that badass paint job on those missile trucks? And he's like, hey, you tell me that paint job, I'll tell you how many tactical ballistic nukes we have or whatever. What was it, right? But it's funny to me, not really funny, but it's the same thing we talked about in the past on like the team stuff, like Team Huff Po or Team Leftist Liberal versus Team Fox News right-wing conservative. Whichever you want to hear, go to your echo chamber and just read about, like that's not that big of a deal, or oh yeah, it's fucking horrible. Our country is in shambles and we're under the risk of being attacked. And spies overseas being killed because Donald Trump, gave the secret ingredients to, quarter pounder, which is
KFC,
not quarter pounder, which is one that had 1,000 island dressing on it.
Oh, that's a Big Mac.
Big Mac. That could go for. I don't know what the deal is on podcast night. When we get over here, I'm starving.
I'm always hungry.
Contour versus Candy.
Uh-oh.
But anyway, so that was my big thing on the Trump-Russia thing. Like, if I was in the Trump administration and I had leaked Russian stuff, or I knew someone that had, like, dude, get out there, tell him you did it, let's get it over with, because I'm tired of hearing about it. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's so hard. It's so hard for me to believe anything anymore.
Yeah. Like yesterday, that cyber attack. I don't know if that's what was going on. I have computer problems like every freaking night on this podcast, but Like my computer was jacked up. I was looking at Craigslist yesterday while I was
You know what it was, right? Is Alibaba, right? Alibaba was coming out because it was Amazon's 20th anniversary. So Amazon was big in the news yesterday. So Alibaba was like, man, we got to, what is his name? Jack Ma?
Alibaba.
Yeah, the Chinese Amazon. Basically, come on now. The Chinese Amazon?
Isn't that a book? Alibaba?
Alibaba and the 30 Thieves? 40 Thieves? I don't know. Anyways.
There's a Chinese Amazon?
Yeah.
They sell like high quality
American stuff, exactly.
I'm looking for some cheap Chinese shit. This stuff's all expensive American stuff.
It's completely the opposite.
Yeah. Dude, I need to get on Alibaba.
Yeah, I gotta get some good stuff. No, so that's probably
for a
what it was,
$4 garden tiller. Like this one's
$700.
That must be high
Quality.
Oh, so I didn't know this, but like. It's
no,
funny.
I'm saying that.
It's funny when you said, you know.
It's funny. You're gonna
funny
do
you should say that. When I was reading, like, oh, that was what was wrong with my phone, because my phone seriously opened Craigslist up. It was like in Filipino.
See, that wasn't that's just all the porn that you view on the phone.
Well, I gotta text group text pictures to people. I don't just save that shit on my phone, but no. So, but as soon as I saw on the news or whatever at the gym, it said, you know, like cyber attack by North Korea. Like, that guy's up there eating dirt. You know?
Yeah, come on. I gotta have a hard time believing that they. I mean, maybe that's the key, right? Like they'd be like, oh, we've put all of our all of our money into.
They recruited Hacker Man.
Mm-hmm.
From what's that movie called?
Not Sneakers.
Dude, this went blank on the name of that movie.
I don't know. I'll
it's
have to
by
look it up.
Laser Unicorns.
It's the with the
Kung
dinosaur,
Fury.
yeah.
Kung Fury, yeah, Hacker Man.
Mm-hmm. The dude riding a T-Rex.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm so skeptical of everything I hear anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like people tell me stuff at work, I feel bad because I'm like, if that really happened as you heard it, you know, and they're like, I'm sure they get tired of, you know, because I'm sure some of it is as simple as it's presented.
Uh-huh.
You know, like, but I mean, it's just like when my wife tells me, you know, like, oh, I took care of a person today that got, you know, they got shot or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, in my head, I'm thinking like, well, I mean, it's the same as the circle where you know, the first person tells the next person.
Yeah, purple monkey dishwasher.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, by the time it gets around, it's all changed. So, you know, the news is nothing more than people listening to a police scanner, going to a police scanner, reporting on the scene after they talk to someone, their interpretation of what they just said, you know, maybe an interview, right?
Right.
So, I mean, that's the news. And then not to mention, once you take that and you're like, hey, we're going to put our spin on this to, you know, to form what we want as a response, you know.
Yeah.
I don't believe anything.
It's like it's popular today to call a lot of things science, right?
Yeah.
That aren't actually science. You know, like that aren't true science. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, medical field isn't science. It's applied science, right? There's a difference.
Yeah.
Right? It's not guaranteed, right? Like, but science is there's an axiom that's truth, right? Like 100% it happens, right? There's a difference between the two. You know what I mean? But so many people are like, well, we're gonna call this science now, right? Like earth science. We don't know everything that happens with the earth. It's
usually gravity.
We have ideas, and
but isn't that science like that? It's a theory, right?
I think an actual science it's proven, right? Like
I don't think anything's 100%.
Well,
right?
yeah. I mean, see, this is why
I don't believe anything.
This is why I'm trying. Like I've really been struggling with this a lot this week, because I've been like, man, what's true? what is true anymore? Like, do we have to know the secrets of the universe in order for us to actually figure out what is true? Like, we can only speculate all the time. You get where I'm going here or not?
I think we're just vibrating balls of energy.
I mean, you're right? Like, energy and matter, right? We figured out that energy and matter, or is this true? That energy and matter don't ever, or they according to what we know, they can never be destroyed, right?
Yeah.
They can only transform.
Mm-hmm.
And when a matter transforms, it releases energy, right? And then the energy is then converted, or the matter is converted into a different form. Yeah. Is there still energy in that matter?
Yeah.
But then it's just
like, I mean, gas. If you combust gasoline or whatever, it changes the light into heat.
Right.
Carbon
and
CO2,
smoke, whatever the
particulate matter.
Right, and then that transforms, right,
into
something, and then it transforms again. So is this science that we're talking about? Is this true science, or is this an applied science?
It's a theory. Proven
theory.
Okay,
what is applied science? Applied science would be something that
you're getting me confused now.
Well, what's applied science?
It's like
So applied science is a discipline of science that applies existing scientific knowledge to develop more practical applications like technology. So medical will be that, right? Because they're applying scientific knowledge to develop more practical applications regarding
science is what's going to kill us with robots.
Right. Applied science will kill us, it saves us. Like in the medicine industry, it saves us.
But
kills us with robots.
Fuck. Screwed, man.
Computer science would be applied science, right?
Yeah, I'd assume.
Everything that we utilize.
Some old.
Unless we're trying to figure it, figure it out in a lab. We're never gonna know the truth.
I don't think so. Not until you're dead. I hope they give us all the answers when we're dead. Like, hey man, who killed JFK? Was it the CIA? Like, no, was it Lee Harvey Oswald? Like, come on, serious? Here comes Lee Harvey Oswald. Like, damn man, good shot. Like, that's impressive. Like, didn't even mess up your bullet. He's just gonna stand there like that.
You can do that, yeah.
All right.
Huh? I got off on a tangent, but now I'm even more off on a tangent because I was thinking about this.
Lee Harvey Oswald in heaven. So.
Well, I was thinking about heaven. I was thinking about maybe everything that we know, or that we think we know, or that our idea of. Well, you know how we saying that our theories have been like, oh, this is a simulation, or this is that, right? And we say, well, what created it? No matter what, right? We keep rolling it back to what about then? What about then? What about then, right? Like, who created that? If we can't prove it, right? What if it's actually one and the same? What if the universe, I'm already on a tinfoil hat subject, but what if, and I'm not trying to be vague, but what if the universe is actually God? Like it's always expanding, right? It's always creating. And it lives by its own law. What if it's God? And what if the idea is, does that make you feel like you're not special, or it makes you feel like you're more special?
If God is, or the universe is God,
it's one and the same, right?
Does it make me feel special
or not? Does it make you feel special or not special or indifferent?
Indifferent.
But then does that make the idea of
Well,
that
you know,
God
I
being
asked,
indifferent?
it's funny as I asked because so my wife's a practicing Catholic, right?
Mhm.
So before we got married, we had to go to Catholic
Yeah.
premarital counseling.
Right.
And like my dad said, he's like, "What's a guy that's never been married giving advice on marriage?" And but it was good, right? Because the guy that did ours was the guy that married us, which he was cool.
Mhm.
I had known him from the gym. He worked out at the hospital
Yeah.
gym and everything, and he was cool. Like I'd talked to him before. Anyway, when we'd be in there, we just basically start talking about, you know, not nonsense, but just like I just start rattling off questions, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, so tell me this, like, you know, the universe was created by God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what was here before that, you know, and he was real cool. He explained
He's
things.
like, oh, you got me.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. But one thing he did say was, he's like, you know, God said something like, I am.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. And
Just like you say I am.
like basically, you know, so what is that? Like, I am. Like,
Uh-huh.
so everything, right? You know, so it's kind of like what you're saying with the universe, and which to me isn't that far fetched, and doesn't, you know, separate itself too much from like all these, you know, prophets or whatever that have written books about God, right?
Uh-huh.
Because it just takes away the personal touch of making it like mankind or whatever. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So
Well, and I guess the reason that I got onto this last week was because remember the conversation between your wife and I about freedom, right? And so I started to look into it, and I'd listened to one of the podcasts, and they talked about Trinitarian freedom or Trinitarian love in Catholicism, and so that's what I started to do. I started to look into it, and I didn't really find much about that in that sense. I got sidetracked, but I started to think about Trinity, the idea of it, right? And other than like in Christianity, but more so about the Trinity between in a human, right? We have a spirit, right? Which our spirit would be our intellect, our everything that makes us up, our conscious, all this stuff that makes us up, and then we have a soul, right? And the soul is like the medium that everything grows in, kind of like soil outside, right? So your spirit concocts something or says I am, right?
mm-hmm.
Says I am healthy, I am this, I am that, right? And that seed is planted into your soul, right? And then your soul kind of transforms it, doesn't really have a lot of thought, that, you know, doesn't do it, just takes the ingredients and then grows the tree, right? Like or the plant or the I am that you've done. And I got off on this. It might be like New Age science, or not New Age, New Age beliefs or whatever. But I was reading about it and I was like, man, it's pretty solid idea, right? Like the idea that God, I am, right, is one and the same with the universe, and the creation of you is you're free to discover yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so let's think about it. Like, if things were like they were in the Garden of Eden, right? Like what they're laid out to be, everything's perfect, right? If everything was perfect, you would never discover who you were. You would never have been able to discover who you were. I would suppose, right? You wouldn't be free. It would be.
Well, it's like that.
It wouldn't be a freedom. There would be no freedom there. It would be you would just be like.
Well, it's like that song I had you listen to that's got that guy talking at the beginning of it. It said, imagine if you could go to sleep every night and dream your wildest dreams.
Oh, right,
everything you dream would come true.
Right.
And then so like after a few days you get so used to having everything exactly how you wanted it, and you know, without any surprise or anything like that. You say, well, let's have a dream where, something happens that I don't know that's gonna happen. Like surprise me, right? And then that guy says, and I don't know who this is. It's at the beginning of some like laid back beats. Said, so the more you get more adventurous and move away from having everything as you wanted it in your initial, setup of your dreams, to where you're surprised, more surprised, and more surprised, to where you would eventually end up in a life that you're living now, where nothing is certain and everything is a surprise, and I mean, you think about that, you're like, yeah, that's true, right?
Yeah, I think so, and I think the more that you train yourself.
Get on this from Donald Trump in the news.
I don't know. I was thinking that I don't know, but I like this.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess where I went is that if think about yourself like you did, like you just said, you would imagine yourself to now, but now think about yourself observing everything in that Garden of Eden, right? Like in the Garden of Eden, did lions eat lambs?
I mean, I don't think so.
But then why did they have teeth? Like,
well, now you're getting to the.
I'm saying is that maybe they did, but you because you weren't free at this point yet, you weren't free to discover the things in the world.
Like how delicious lamb was.
Well, it was like you're naive to it. You see it, eat it, but that's instead of you saying, "Oh, that's sad," or right, it was like, "Oh, that's life." Basically, you are.
Did you ever? Okay.
You're an animal that doesn't have that intellectual. It's like this. It's like, think about it like this. When you look at that pen, what do you see?
Pen.
But you see its potential, right?
Well,
you know what you can do it with it, right? A dog looks at that and does this. It
chew that shit up.
Yeah,
and on the floor.
Right. He has somewhat of an understand. A turtle looks at it and does even less, right?
Yeah.
But there's like these levels of maybe understanding, right? Like a monkey could look at it and be like, well, there's candy over there in that box, and I can't get into that box, and so they're understanding a little bit of tools, right? So they uses the pen to get in the box. What on a certain level, there are certain levels of it. Now I don't know if that's something I don't know about, but we're totally different, right? I mean, but we weren't that way, or were we? Have we always been that way? Or is that whole Garden of Eden thing just a metaphor to say that's what sets us apart?
I feel like a lot of the stuff that you read about in the Bible is like a metaphor for. I mean, like I've always said before, people that argue like, well, it's, Bible can't agree with science, or evolution or anything like that. And like, well, how do you know? And this is completely different. Like, what if Adam and Eve or whatever, like what if those characters in the Bible were some sort of molecular level of, like carbon atom attaching to, like you don't know. I mean, it's a story written by mankind, right? Like
to explain.
Yeah. So, like you're saying, I mean, that in my head that makes sense. Like that could be a legitimate explanation for, like it wasn't that it was just, how would you say it? Like your understanding was just expanded,
Right.
And that maybe that the Garden of Eden time frame wasn't what it was. It was
thousands of hundreds of millions of years or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's what's fascinating about it though is that there's that moment that we're created, regardless of however long it took, to the understanding of the universe or God or whatever that was like, look, they have to be free to discover themselves, and in order to do that, it takes adversity, right? Like, doesn't it take adversity to to make you, to individualize you. It takes adversity, because otherwise wouldn't you be like the Borg, or you know what I mean? Like it would be like mankind would be like a computer if everything was, or mankind would be like a program. It would be like everybody, there would be no, if there's no pain in the world, right? There's no conflict, right? It would be like, you know, it'd be
like the Matrix.
Yeah, it'd be just a happy existence, right? But you would never be an individual at that same point, right? You could have identity, but you could never be individualized. There's a difference, right? Identity. We talked about this like last week with all those groups, those people that identify with those things, and if you become an individual within that identity, you're actually isolate or ostracized from the group, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm an anarchist, but I don't like this, or I'm this, but I don't like that. Oh, well, then you're not actually that, right? And that would be the case. I'm a human, but I don't like to eat what we've been eating, and that's conflict. So now you've caused it. I don't know. I think that was the genius of God, right? Like he figured out, got to be able to let them discover themselves, otherwise they're never free. And so we have to introduce this pain or this conflict to them so that they can become individualized and choose their own adventure.
Yeah,
it's like that book.
Turn to page 32.
Damn.
Fuck. Fell off a cliff.
Yeah. All right, I'm done. I'm done with this. I know people probably like, oh god, this guy, but
all right. So this next article, not as exciting. It says Huffington Post: Hillary Clinton announces new political group Onward Together. Like I'm pretty sure I'd never have to hear this woman's voice again after she lost the election, right?
mm-hmm.
Nope. She is back. So she's 6 months after losing from HuffPost.com. Six months after losing the presidential election to Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton has launched Onward Together, a nonprofit to fund groups that encourage political involvement. And it was just released today that that White House staffer that leaked information about Hillary Clinton and everything, WikiLeaks,
Seth Rich
was murdered, right?
Yeah,
which we all knew that back in when it happened.
Right. They supposedly
he was burgled, right?
Yeah, burgled,
but just killed him.
Didn't take anything. Seth Rich.
Yeah, so you know that's part of the Clinton legacy, right? Like,
right.
I don't know how many names in the books that they've offed, right?
I think we called her like back in August. I think we called her like Storm Shadow or this Sneaky Snake or whatever. Solid Snake. She was an assassin.
Well, so she's got this new group, Onward Together. It's dedicated to advancing the vision that earned nearly 66 million votes in the last election. Okay. So it's a quote from one of the Women's March to airports where communities are welcoming immigrants and refugees to town hall meetings in every community. Americans are speaking up and speaking out like never before. That's what Clinton says. What I think is funny, where is it? Onward Together is organized as a 501c for social welfare nonprofit. That means it can collect contributions from any source without disclosing the names of its donors.
Mm-hmm.
Onward Together can then contribute to other nonprofits. So it's a way to me, I'm like, the way I read that is Onward Together is organized so that it can
funnel money
from wealthy people like George Soros or whoever, right? And then put it to other nonprofits. And then, hey, where'd you get that money? Onward Together. Oh, well, Onward Together got it from fucking Prince Abdullah in Saudi Arabia, or, you know, whoever, right? But, anyway, she's not leaving anytime soon. You know, she said she's part of the resistance, like.
Like she's actually.
She's
silly.
She's on that scene from that last Terminator movie that was horrible, where Christian Bale's like, "If you're listening to this, you're part of the resistance." Yeah. See Hillary Clinton sitting in a bunker smoking a cigarette. I tell you, you are the resistance.
I didn't get
who's this focused to? Southern people? You're part of the resistance. You know. Let me change. Flip my however I sound around to fit who's listening. All right, this next one. HuffingtonPost.com.
Huff Po.
Yeah, Huff. This is from John Bonner, an LCSW writer and explorer of existential angst. I'm going to say words tonight. What is LCSW?
Wait a minute.
Land crewman surface warfare.
I only see like 3 women in this picture.
Yeah. So this dude, John Bonner, titled "I Am Not a Before Picture." I'm going to be having bariatric surgery in 3 days, but I wanted to write this now before that physical transformation begins as a reminder to myself. Okay, so this guy says, I learned I was fat when I was 5. I was at my best friend's house. His mom pointed at my stomach, told me not to worry. He would grow out of the baby fat someday. When he was 12, he had to run a timed mile for the Presidential Fitness Challenge in gym. He was the last one, so everyone circles up, right, and they start cheering him on.
Yeah.
They said the class echoed in unison, chanting "Roadrunner, Roadrunner." He says, I wanted to walk out of those gymnasium doors and never look back, but I kept running. Tears mixed with sweat pouring down my bright red cheeks, but I kept running.
Wait. These people were cheering him on, like,
yeah, and he's
rooting for him, and he was being a bitch?
Yeah, he was fat, man. Okay, so
what a shithead.
that summer, after I turned 13, I went swimming with some boys in my neighborhood. They conferenced together in a whispered huddle at the edge of the pool before making their way back to the spot where it had been. They pointed to a group of girls. They said they wanted him to hang tight where he was so that he wouldn't, ruin it for them because he was fat, right?
Okay, so those kids are shitheads.
Yeah.
But the kids that are cheering him on, he's the shithead in that.
I agree.
All right.
So this year, at the age of 39, he says he reached his heaviest weight, 312 pounds at 5'9".
Oh, damn.
He says something even more surprising. He says he's felt happier than he's ever felt. He's found people who accept him as he is, that's good.
That is good.
He said, I do like this, right? He says, don't get me wrong. There are, of course, a host of downsides to being, I want to put emphasis on this, morbidly obese.
So he's calling himself morbidly obese.
Which he is.
At 5'9", 312 pounds. Okay.
Many of them health-related. I'm pre-diabetic. I have sleep apnea, hypertension, acid reflux, major back and knee problems, and several other issues that can be mitigated or resolved through weight loss.
What's sleep apnea exactly? I hear people that have it.
Stop breathing at night. Yeah.
You die?
No, you just stop breathing.
And then wake up.
Yeah, wake up.
Do I have sleep apnea?
I don't know. You may. You sound like it that one night when you were snoring.
But I'm not fat.
No.
I mean,
not everyone. I mean, you don't get this sleep apnea if you're fat.
Oh.
So I said, he agrees this could be mitigated through weight loss, which is why he's having bariatric surgery in 3 days. But he wanted to write this now because he's lost a significant amount of weight before. He said, I've had a healthy BMI as an adult. Okay, I used to. So basically, this article is talking about how he's not a before and after picture based on his bariatric surgery. But so I know that there's some people that have problems.
Right. So bariatric surgery is the one where
you are surgically starving yourself. Is basically what it is.
Oh.
You have your stomach.
Is it the one where they make the stomach smaller?
Yeah, they make the stomach smaller, or they put that band on it, or whatever. But the thing is writing this article saying that, I'm not, the view of me after I lose weight from this surgical starvation is not who I am. Well, then why are you changing? Like, it either is, I mean, you
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, are you changing it for health reasons? Like, because your joints cannot handle the weight that your body has put on them, you know? Like, you knee and back problems because you're 300 pounds at 5'9".
Right.
I mean, that's a direct result, right?
Right.
I mean, is that the reasoning behind it? Because, I mean, there's no, I mean, I don't know. I know some people that have had
Bariatrics.
bypass, the whatever it's called, and look horrible. Lost a ton of weight, but look like horrible. And, the way I understand it is you don't absorb all the nutrients from your food, so they get the sunken face look and everything, but
Well, didn't that guy Jonah Hill have it?
I don't know.
And he got fat as hell again.
Well, you can
Your stomach
stretch
just
your
adapts
stomach,
and stretches.
you can eat.
It grows
shit. But
back.
the thing to me is, unless you have a legit, I feel like such an asshole, medical issue to where you cannot lose weight. I don't know. Like when you're to the point that you're 300 and something pounds and you've lost a substantial amount of weight. I mean, it's gonna take some sort of like continued effort to maintain a weight of that amount, right?
Right. Yeah, like those shows like extreme
Yeah, I've
weight
seen
loss
it,
where they run and they work out for like a year hard and they're just busting their ass and they're eating right and they lose like they might have been like 300 some pounds, they lose like 200 pounds in that year. You're like, holy, or that's probably drastic, but like 150 pounds.
I've seen the same shows where it's got people like I watched one on that MTV Real Life or whatever. I'm getting bypass surgery. This was a while back.
Oh.
And this kid was like trying his hardest to make his BMI high so he could get the surgery. He's eating McDonald's or fried food every day, like eating constantly just shit, so that he could get this surgery.
So he's working hard to get fat.
Basically like that Simpsons episode where Homer tries to become obese and wear boo-boos so he can get on disability. But I don't know, man. I mean, I just don't feel like, I'm just gonna say it, like I don't feel like there are 300-pound people walking around when they're plowing fucking fields for work. You know what I mean? When people were busting their ass like farming and doing shit.
Yeah.
Every day-to-day labor was not uncommon for everyone.
Yeah.
You're chopping firewood or whatever. And I don't want to go back to that lifestyle.
Yeah.
But for all of a sudden there'd be all these medical issues where people are 500 fucking pounds.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean, I think it is. I think we have, our society makes it much easier to become 500 pounds. Not only because we don't
anywhere and eat.
Right, and because we don't work like that. Number one, and our food is full of preservatives now, which probably adds a lot to that, right? Like our meals aren't as natural and organic, so it makes it easier to gain that weight. But it's just all about discipline, and it totally is about discipline and choosing. Okay, your job doesn't allow you to work out, right? Your job doesn't. Well, you have to make time to do that. You have to figure out, get up an hour earlier. Then don't drink 17 Cokes at work. I mean,
but you're not. When you're talking about a 500-pound person or a 300-pound person, you're not talking about not being able to find out a workout day to day.
Yeah, no. Those are the guys that are shoveling.
There's a girl
garbage in there
that I would drive by. I don't drive by there anymore, but I would drive by.
Unless they do have like a
every day on the way home,
thyroid or whatever.
Work, right?
Uh-huh.
Every day I would drive by. She was sitting on a lawn chair on the front porch, looking at her phone, smoking cigarettes every single day. And she was at least high twos, going on 3. And I always wanted. I mean, it's none of my business, I mean, assuming that you're paying for any of that. But I just wanted to ask her, like, what's going on? Like, well, I can't work. I'm disabled. Well, why are you disabled? Because I'm overweight. Well, why are you overweight? Because you sit there and look at your phone and smoke cigarettes all day.
I think it makes it easier for people. It becomes like a crutch, right? I think what happens is it's like anything that people, whenever they, like this guy, right? For instance, this guy obviously had low self-esteem as a kid, right? He had low self-esteem. He never outgrew it, right? And he didn't do anything to change it. So as a kid, a lot of those I ams are shaped, right? Like he claims he's fat. He says it. He's like, I am fat. And the more that he says it, the more that he believes it. The more that he believes it, this body, it's like that spirit planting that seed into that soil, and now it's converting it into that matter, and he can't break it until something has to happen, right? So instead of relying on a crutch, something drastic, you have to change who you are, right?
I cut my stomach out.
And that's what he's going to do, right? Like, instead of, it's unfortunate, but instead of saying, look, man, I've got to change it, right? I think there comes a point in time in an adult's life you have to look at those things. And they're not as easy to identify, especially in society nowadays, because it's become socially acceptable. And it becomes that, I bet if you'd asked that girl, she'd been like, fuck you, I'm not, it gets that mentality because they build up a defense mechanism, right? And that defense mechanism is easily accepted nowadays, right? Like, there's no, because the social welfare system allows it to be, it's propped up. It's propped up by society.
Yeah, and society now is trying to push the fact of saying that, like, well, this is normal. It's unhealthy to be, to be skinny and all this. Enjoy life. Like, being morbidly obese to where your joints can't hold up your fat ass. That's not. Yeah, that's not healthy. That's not some sort of thing to be proud of, right?
Right.
That's what really bothers me the most about this is like, don't judge. Don't fat shame. Don't do this. Don't do that. Like, and it's, people, being overweight is normal. Like, yeah, maybe being overweight is normal, but there's people walking around that are like, taxing their body and possibly dying from, eating. That's what I mean. Basically, that's it. Like, you're eating. Like that comedian you sent me that you're like, this guy's you or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, he goes, have you ever tried to...
Bill Burr.
He's like, you ever tried to get, like, abs? He's like, it's fucking impossible. He's like, you gotta work out, you gotta eat right, you gotta eat at the right fucking time. He's like, you ever try to get fat? Yeah. No, it happens. You don't have to do anything at all. Yeah. What are you doing? I'm just getting fat. Just sitting there eating, getting fat as fuck. Like, that is the thing. Like, if people would just admit it to me, I guess that would... maybe I'd just be like, all right, man, whatever. If they're like, dude, I have no interest in being fit or anything like that. I'd rather just be fat. I'm happy this way. I know I may die from fucking heart attack. I know if I get in a car wreck that or if I roll my ankle, I may break my fucking leg because my joints can't handle the mass that it's holding up, and that's fine with me. Like. Then maybe I'd be like, okay, whatever, dude. But
maybe what we do is we take a page out of the Bunker Days guys, right? And we start our own. If you don't want to be fat anymore, and we could do the. We'd be like, we're gonna help to transform you, and that's it. It's and we could run it like, dude, I got an idea. You could just be a complete asshole, right? And you call them out and be like drill sergeants, except I'll be the nice one.
I know people think I hate fat people. I mean, I really don't. I just get tired of the whole. I mean, it's just like everything that I complain about. Like, don't try to force force it on me as normal.
Right. I think that's your biggest your hang up with. It's not the people themselves. It's the mentality that goes behind it. It's the defense mechanism. That's what I think. That's what gets your goat is that the justification of it. It doesn't. It's never the I am and I don't want to change. So it's actually I am. How dare you?
Yeah, accept it. Why are you not accepting this as normal? Like this is completely normal. Like, and that's where I get to when you got a donkey.
You're changing you're changing the definition.
On the prairie, you are not 400 pounds. Sorry.
If you were either royalty.
I even think then, you know.
Yeah. Well, those fat ass kings and queens.
Well, that's Europe.
Yeah.
All right. I got a final story here from the Huffington Post with the hard-hitting news.
Uh huh.
All right. Did you read this?
No, I didn't read any of these.
Okay.
That's why
this is on the trending column here. The picture got me. When I read this. And this is weird, right? The way the universe works. Because the other night I was looking for risque movies on Amazon. You know. Okay, you gotta listen.
I'm reading. Okay.
I got rickrolled on a movie.
Okay.
Big time. So I was going through the dirty movies on Amazon trying to find something.
Uh-huh.
My wife had already fallen asleep, so I was like, I'll find something for her to watch tomorrow. You know, when she's awake.
So you
try
can
prime
the evening,
mood, right?
Yeah.
So I picked one. It was called XXY. I thought that was like
No. What, dude?
So the description said something about like a young girl reaches something. It had 5 stars. I was like, oh, this would be like that one that was on Netflix that was real explicit or whatever.
Uh-huh.
You know. So I started watching it. And it was like boring as hell. So I just fast forward, and I see people kissing. So I stop. Next thing I know, some girl and this boy kissing, and then she rolls this boy over and starts giving it to him. So that yeah. All I needed was never gonna give you up.
Gotcha, bitch.
Gonna run around and desert you. But totally fucking got me. I was like, oh shit. But anyway.
And he stopped it there, and then your wife's gonna get on there and look at it and be like, oh, that must be where he stopped masturbating.
Exactly. But anyway. So today, I'm looking for articles.
All you people out there know exactly what I'm talking about, too.
Mm-hmm. And the VHS days.
Don't act like you don't.
Hey, man, let me borrow that movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I see.
That's what you like. Get the umbrella out. The title of this article is, Dear Straight Men, our anus does not have a sexual orientation.
Word anus.
Yeah.
Makes me think of science class.
This isn't a very very long article, you know. I mean, it is newsworthy, I guess, but it says straight men will say they want to receive anal sex or they want to engage, but they're ashamed to tell their girlfriends or wives. They're ashamed to ask their partner to explore that with them, and not just because of the reaction they fear from their partner. I'm not going to read this whole thing.
I don't know. The first sentence says straight men will say they want to receive anal sex. No, they.
Yeah.
Who's speaking for us? It's probably a gay guy.
Joe Court, Dr. Joe Court.
Is he gay?
He recommends that. He says anuses have no sexual orientation. He says when I can convince a female to try this with her partner, they're pleasantly surprised. Many women report back that they've never been wet in their entire life. They felt dominant. They were never so turned on before. He, meanwhile, is able to be submissive and vulnerable, often for the very first time. It can be a very positive experience for both partners.
Hold on.
Like, I don't want to be felt dominated, submissive, or vulnerable during sexual intercourse at any time.
No, and this doctor, what is he? He's Dr. Obvious? Oh shit, an anus doesn't have a sexual orientation. I mean, that's like, what? Of course it doesn't.
I almost feel like
a sexual orientation.
Yeah.
Whenever you say sexual orientation, doesn't that imply a reproductive What is
I don't
what
know.
does sexual orientation
It's in
mean?
the mind,
Okay.
right?
Well,
That's what
I was
assume.
thinking. I
It's
was
not like
thinking.
your butthole can be straight and you're gay, or you're straight and your butthole.
Well, I was thinking more along the lines
My
like,
butthole's on Grindr.
regardless of your sex, right? Regardless of your sex, you have a butthole. So it's not. It doesn't.
You know,
I don't know.
my kids use the word butthole, and I should stop them, but I think it's so funny that I can't help it. Like, my daughter telling my other daughter not to pet the cat or stay away from its butthole. Like, she's right. You don't want to be petting the cat's butthole. I'll tell you that. Cat shit stinks. All right, do a commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I'm not can't say
I don't get it, man.
I don't want to get plowed in the butt. I mean, I'm sure some dudes do. It's fine. Have at it. But don't think I won't make fun of you for it. I knew a guy that I told you that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
The guy was proud of it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, man.
You know, tell the podcast listeners that.
DickTarian or we?
Yeah, DickTarian. All right, DickTarian. So this is Huffington Post too, but and I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but basically this is a woman with a couple kids, right? The dick is not the lady. She gives two experiences where once she's in Costco washing her kids' hands, and she's putting her kids in the cart, and some lady walks up behind her and she says, "Oh, we're not in line." The lady goes around, and then the woman next to her at the sink snaps or says, "Well, some of us still can't get by," to this lady, right?
Oh shit!
And so she takes a picture of the shopping cart, which is in the article, and I mean there's ample room to get around this cart, right? So this was 2 days, right? Or twice in the same day. So then this is a different person. She's at Lowe's in one of the car carts, you know, which I always get those. I always have to get those too, right?
That's what I get at Walmart.
She says how awkward it is because it's so large. So she's got the big cart, and she's by herself looking for some seeds to plant. So I guess she says she notices a woman off to her left just standing still staring at us, and hasn't said anything to her. And then so she says to this lady, she says, "Oh, sorry, excuse us," and she tries to move the cart over, like the big, the race car cart. She said she didn't reply to me, but when her husband joins her a second later, she remarks to him. He says, "Can you believe idiots who just park a big thing like that right in everyone's way?" So she says she got instantly hot, and she says, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. I told her, I have kids. I can't just leave the cart over there somewhere and go grab what I need. And she's like, I don't expect you to leave them, but you're in the way. Dude, I got to tell you, this lady goes on to talk. I mean, she says her kids, which I don't know if this part's true. She says, her kids are like, I feel so bad we made that lady angry, her daughter, said to her. My response, if that lady said that to me and was angry and mean, I'd be like, why don't you go fuck yourself, old lady? Yeah. You know what I mean? And then, if her old ass husband came out and wanted a piece too, like, hey, kids, daddy's going to beat the shit out of someone at Home Depot today, Like, this, like I was saying earlier, people are fat because there's no donkeys and plows. This is because no one gets punched in the mouth anymore for shit like this. You know what I mean? I don't know. It'd be different if someone was being obviously rude, but if they've got kids and they're trying to manage fucking kids in a store, like, walk your fat ass around to the other side of the aisle.
I'll go do something else.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at things like this. I know even before I had kids, I wasn't that way.
I wasn't either.
There was no point in being that way. What is that? I'll tell you whenever I have
driving, maybe different.
Well, I'll tell you when I have an issue, and I've always had an issue, is whenever I see parents like at the store, and their fucking kid is just like
gone. Yeah.
And it's not because I'm upset with the kid. I'm thinking, dude, in my head, I'm like, how do you just let your child run around wild? I mean, there's people out there that are monsters. There are monsters that exist, right? You have that much regard for your child, like
I don't know. I can't imagine someone telling me,
yeah,
I'm in their way or something.
Like, yeah, no, I mean,
call me an idiot in front of my kids, for something.
I also am I go out of my way for the most part to, when I am in the store.
Oh yeah.
But I know,
hyper aware of.
Yeah, like I think, and sometimes I think that's too much, right? Like sometimes I'm hyper aware that it's passed on to, like that feeling of being hyper aware is passed on to my kid, like they can sense it, and sometimes I find that that's not good either.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's an excuse to have kids to just be in the way and everything, because I try my hardest to be out of the way when I do stuff. But at the same time, man, like
you don't have to be an asshole.
Even if it was, let's just say that 300-pound dude, and he's in front of me because he can't walk. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be mad inside, but I would never in my life say like, "You're in my way."
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean.
What entitles you to the aisle at
the space?
Yeah.
Home Depot, go fuck yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's the DickTarian. I got a ode to women if you want to play.
Yeah.
I got two articles here, and these were I found these when we were setting up earlier for the show. So the first one is
I don't have them.
No, from MSN.com.
Okay.
Women apparently look for just one thing in a male partner, and it's pretty disturbing. So what do you think your significant other looks for in a man when she's looking?
What, my significant other?
I mean, I guess women in general.
So it's like I would think women in general would be the provider, right? Like provider. Not mine, obviously. my significant other doesn't look at me as I'm just.
So there's a good sense of humor, kind animal, 6-figure salary. These are all things. Apparently, us women look for one thing in our search for a significant other, and it will make you squirm. Instead, what us women are supposedly after is a man who resembles our brothers. The study, which was published in the Evolution and Human Behavior Journal, asked participants to look at photos of men and rank them according to who bore the greatest resemblance. The scientists included photos of volunteers, partners, and brothers, which they had also sent in. What the researchers found was clear evidence for perceptual similarity in facial photographs of a woman's partner and her brother.
I look nothing like my wife's brother.
No?
I don't think so, no.
Our findings are not a rule of true of every woman, but we did find that levels greater than chance, partners did show some subtle resemblance to the woman's brothers.
You don't look like your wife's brother either.
No. Tasman also suggested familiarity seems to be attractive.
You guys are both white, though.
Yeah, that's not to say with you and your wife's brother. Meaning people are attracted to those with similar views, interests, and tastes, in which case maybe that's something that's coming into play. So, all right, the real ode to women here.
That's creepy.
Yeah, the real ode to women here.
Mm-hmm.
It's right here, Yahoo style. One-piece swimsuits are more popular than bikinis. I like one-piece swimsuits.
All right, I gotta find this one. I gotta find this. Yahoo style?
Yeah. So it says bikinis have ruled the beach for as long as most people can remember, but according to new research, you may be seeing less of them somewhere. But that's because one-piece swimsuits are hella hot right now. HELLA. According to retail analytics from Edited, 20% more one-pieces are available online now than this time last year, and two-piece options online have fallen 9%. Additionally, One Piece designs are being bought 3 times faster than they were in the 2016. Once more, athletic brands like Dolphin Speedo, Tire, Nike, and Arena are the most in-demand swimsuits this year, illustrating that women want performance swimwear are more than just getting your tan on options. 2 pieces aren't going anywhere, though. People are still buying them and wearing them, just taking a backseat this season. So, I've got to say, I am a fan of the One Piece swimsuit, but I mean, I like the bikini, but the One Piece, if and I tried to tell my wife this one year, and she's like, "You want me to wear One Piece?" Like, you know, she's like, "What are you saying?" But the thing is the One Piece in my head is probably not the One Piece on Yahoo style, because I'm thinking of the One Piece like the girl wearing Crocodile Dundee when she gets in that little pond, or like 80s workout videos, the high cut hip,
all the way up,
the hips, like almost
up to their nipple, up to the side boob.
Yeah. So I don't know what I've seen a couple of One Pieces on Amazon that look like, you know, swimsuits from the 40s. So
yeah,
I can't do it. This one, the cover's good. I mean,
the ones I'm looking at images of, they don't. The
Yahoo article one is a good one.
I can't even find it.
Oh. Can I show the camera, or will we get?
No, I think you could show it. Show it.
Can you see it?
Hold on. You turn it. I can see it though. Yeah, I like that one, but you've turned it into Tron. No, you're good. You're good.
So women, you gotta rock that One Piece, but get the high cut, extra high cut hip.
I don't think they make those anymore.
Minimal ass. No, they do. I've researched it.
I like the old
high cut hip, minimal ass coverage.
Yeah, I like that.
And the front. I don't even know what you call that. Like the front's like it's not
strip.
Wide. It's like a strip. Basically, what I'm looking for is like
it's just fun.
Just lingerie.
What's the thing called? The leotard suit? No.
Leotard.
The
onesie?
You know, the one that women wear, like it's like a shirt, but it buttons up underneath.
Yeah, it's a onesie.
Yeah, those are nice. But why don't they make swimsuits like that?
They do. It's called a one piece.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like
that.
That.
Have long sleeves.
I didn't even think about the long sleeves.
Girl drowning out there, and she's trying to swim in long sleeves. What do you fucking expect?
You know what I'm talking about? What are they called? Onesies?
I think so.
I don't think that's what they're called.
Yeah, that's what they call them for children.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah, baby, you look like that onesie.
It's not the same.
I saw something an article today that said there's you know what a romper is?
No, it's like romper.
Okay, so it's like a thing you put your kids in. It's like a short pants and shirt combo.
Yeah.
Have you seen the bro romper?
Yeah, it's just. There's no way.
That can't be real, right?
Yeah, it's real.
So if you're listening, you need to check out the bro romper.
There's no way in hell.
Like, my kids wear rompers.
Yeah.
One of them does.
All right, now think about this for a minute. Think about the logistics of taking a dump
With a romper?
with your romper on. You gotta
Yeah.
unbutton the whole thing. Take it.
Dude, are you that stalled butt naked?
Yeah, I got my romper off.
I had to wear a romper to work.
And just think if you're not like the romper doesn't fit you quite right. And your nuts are like
You're like Frog Eyes.
yeah, one on each side. I'm not wearing a romper because you can't pull it down. It's hooked to your shoulders.
Yeah, and when you bend over, it's gonna like try to pick it up by your crack. You know what I mean? I wear ski pants like that were too small.
Yeah.
I would bend over and I feel like someone was literally picking me up on my ass.
Give me the snuggie.
Yeah.
The romper would smell like shit. Balls. I can't believe people actually wear those. I mean, kids, I get it.
I'm black and white on this video now.
I know.
It's better than red. You got something on your forehead on the. You got a hole.
2 holes.
All right, so that's all I got. You got anything?
No.
Well, thanks for listening to tonight's show. Make sure and check out the guys over at Bunker Days at www.bunkerdays.com. Check out their website. Get entered into that drawing for some free stuff. We appreciate you being on or listening. We enjoy our listeners. Continue to email us any show ideas or questions, comments, or concerns at xspearheadx@yahoo.com. Like and share our Facebook page. Tell your friends about us. Give us more listeners. And that's all I got.
Did you tell them to subscribe to the YouTube?
Oh, subscribe. Oh, we're behind. Subscribe down there below so that you can. What does subscribing get you?
I don't know. What do they get?
Mm-hmm.
Well, anytime we go live, you'll be able to.
We get an email.
Well, that's if they hit the bell. So if the bell dings, right, then it'll notify them.
So we gotta say hi to Magic Micah. Hey to Brad Ward.
And Raw.
Oh yeah, Raw.
Castaldo.
Dude, that guy's gonna. I didn't even mean to say that. He's gonna think I don't like him.
Why?
Because I just skipped him again.
Oh, yeah. He did. Remember, he does. He thinks you don't like him, does he?
What's up, Raw? Thanks for being in the comments on the video. If you want to check out the video during the podcast, I don't know how to let you know when that's going to happen. So,
yeah, but we do appreciate everybody listening. So, it's a good video.
Yeah,
it was a good podcast. All right.
Until next time.
You're done, right?
Yeah.
All right. Adios, muchachos. Bye.